What if I told you the man of the millennium wasn't who you'd expect? Not a philosopher, not an inventor, certainly not a peacekeeper.
Right. Someone completely different.
Exactly. A nomadic warrior
Mhm.
from the 12th century. Couldn't even read or write. Imagine this. A tent, middle of nowhere on the Asian steppe. Vast, harsh. A child's born.
And there's this omen, right?
Yeah, in his tiny fist, he's clutching a blood clot. Strange, unsettling for everyone there. A sign, maybe powerful, maybe careless. The shaman looks, thinks, takes his time, finally says, this child, Temujin, he'll be a great warrior.
Not just great.
No, the greatest warrior in human history.
And
unstoppable force. That's the prophecy.
And that child, of course, we know him as Genghis Khan.
Right. But, did that prophecy actually come true? And what lessons, often brutal, yeah, but incredibly effective.
Yeah.
What did he leave behind for us?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is to really pull back the curtain on this, well, incredibly enigmatic figure. For centuries, Genghis Khan, he was just the barbarian, the word for destruction.
That was the standard narrative, very one-dimensional.
But modern thinking, historians, even business strategists, they're finding these complex layers. Leadership, strategy, sheer resilience, it really challenges those old ideas.
It absolutely does. We're
Right.
starting to see a much more intricate picture, a revolutionary figure in many ways.
So we're going to unpack how this illiterate nomad, born into, crushing adversity, forged the largest single land empire the world has ever seen.
Largest contiguous empire, yeah. It's staggering.
And more importantly for you listening, what can we actually learn from his methods? The good, the pragmatic, maybe even the ethically tricky part.
It's not always comfortable looking at this history.
No, definitely not. But these ancient lessons from the steppes, they really do resonate with the challenges you might be facing right now. Personal setbacks, leading a team, just understanding power and change in our world.
I think people will be surprised. It's about moving beyond the caricature to understand the organizer, the logistician, the innovator.
It's not about glorifying the violence. Definitely not. It's about critically analyzing how he did what he did.
Precisely. And to do that, we really have to go back to the beginning, that crucible that forged him.
It's an incredible story of his survival.
Truly.
Okay, picture the 12th century Asian steppe. This isn't just tough. It's the edge of human endurance.
Minus 50 Celsius winters.
Yeah, resources incredibly scarce, constant threat of starvation, and relentless tribal warfare. Alliances shifting constantly, survival never guaranteed.
It's that dog-eat-dog world, isn't it? Only the strongest, the most adaptable, maybe the most cunning survive.
He was born there, Temujin, on the banks of the Annan River in Mongolia, named after a defeated Tatar chief his father had just captured.
Which was common practice, sort of absorbing the enemy's strength, perhaps.
Exactly. His father, Yasuge, chief of the Borjigin clan. Respected, charismatic, but still vulnerable in this landscape.
And it's crucial to remember this environment. These weren't settled farmers. Nomadic tribes always moving, life tied to herds, weather.
Survival demanded incredible adaptability. Knowing the land, that unbreakable spirit.
And everything passed down orally, right? The secret history of the Mongols, our main source, written decades after his death, so it's shaping the legend too.
Good point. Adds to the myth. Then catastrophe. Temujin's just 9 years old.
9, so young.
He's with his father journeying to find his future wife, Borte, a rite of passage. On the way back, Yasuge is poisoned by a rival Tatar tribe.
Ah, revenge. A brutal cycle.
And his death wasn't just personal grief for Temujin. It was a political earthquake for the family. A 9-year-old, he couldn't lead the clan.
Not in that world. Utterly unfit.
So the immediate fallout,
Mm-hmm.
catastrophic.
Yeah.
His family, once powerful, just abandoned by their own clan. Stripped of everything. Protection, resources, gone.
Reduced to absolute poverty. Outcasts.
Left to survive in the wilderness. And that shaman's prophecy now makes him a threat. Other clans fear him, want him eliminated, not nurtured.
Yeah. That period must have been incredibly formative. Losing status, family, everything. Total abandonment.
It must have instilled this, primal understanding of loyalty, betrayal, deep distrust maybe.
But also that desperate will to survive. It's the kind of experience that either breaks you completely
Or hardens you into something truly formidable.
Exactly. Forging that inner strength. That's the root of his resilience right there.
And formidable he became. His first real test, beyond just staying alive, came when he was captured. Enslaved by the rival Tayuti tribe.
Led by Targutai, the one who feared the prophecy.
That's the one. Feared the potential rival. Saw something in the boy's eyes. So he parades Temujin around, neck in a kang, that heavy wooden collar chained, humiliated.
Despair.
But even then, his spirit wasn't broken. He manages this daring escape. During a festival night, breaks free, somehow eludes his captors. Incredible cunning.
And seeks refuge where?
On Mount Burken Khaldun, a sacred mountain, a place that becomes deeply significant for him later.
That escape. It's more than just a story, isn't it? It shows his resourcefulness already, his observation skills, maybe that hint of destiny.
For someone so young, to break free, outwit trackers, survive alone, it speaks volumes.
He wasn't just strong physically. That mental fortitude, assessing the situation under pressure, acting decisively, it's already there.
It really is. So when we look back at this early part of his life, what's the big lesson for us today?
I think it crystallizes around resilience, the power of rising again.
Yeah, adversity wasn't the end for him. It was the forge. His childhood was this brutal masterclass in survival, wasn't it? Losing everything, yet still choosing to fight, to rebuild.
I'm connecting that to us. Personal setbacks, failures at work, unexpected crises.
Yeah.
They feel overwhelming.
Totally catastrophic sometimes.
But they can be opportunities, not just to bounce back, but to build real inner strength. Discover capabilities you didn't know you had. Rebuild your whole approach.
So Temujin didn't just survive, he analyzed, understood betrayal, used that hard-won knowledge.
Exactly. For us, maybe it's not just enduring a project failure, but really digging in. What went wrong? What data did we miss? Who really supported us? What did we find inside ourselves under pressure?
Allowing adversity to refine you, not just define you. Turning vulnerability into strength.
That's it. From that low point, being an orphan, an outcast, he starts to build.
And it started small, didn't it? A small band of loyal warriors.
Sons of his father's old friends, drawn to his charisma maybe, the prophecy still echoing.
Probably all of that.
Yeah.
And the sheer force of his will. Figures like Jebi, Subutai, Mukwali, names that would become legendary.
Soon known across continents.
His first strategic moves, even with so few men, they were smart. No suicidal frontal attacks on the powerful Tayuti.
No, he opted for something different.
Lightning-fast raids on their weaker, less guarded camps, disrupting them, chipping away. Like a wolf pack, maybe.
Yeah.
Targeting the weakest.
That shows real tactical thinking early on. Targeting vulnerabilities, building momentum bit by bit, not aiming for glory, but for long-term attrition. Asymmetric warfare, really.
And after these attacks, this revolutionary offer he made.
They captured enemies, yeah.
Instead of just killing them, he gives them this stark choice. Death. Or join his ranks.
Brutally clear. With us or against us.
But it wasn't just fear, right? Many were apparently captivated. His aura, the promise of a new way, this leader who seemed destined. They joined willingly.
It wasn't just numbers, it was strategic integration. Turning potential enemies into loyal assets. Clever.
Around this time, a really personal turning point, too. He's reunited with Borte, his betrothed from childhood. They marry.
Finally, some stability, perhaps.
Short-lived. The Merkit tribe from the northern forests, they raid his camp. Brutal retribution. And they capture Borte, who's pregnant.
Oh, devastating. Personally, and for his leadership.
It ignites this inferno of rage in him. But it also forces his hand strategically. He has to secure alliances to rescue her.
Expanding his network, solidifying his reputation, a leader who protects his own no matter what.
This incident is pivotal, isn't it? It forces him to seek help from others, like the powerful Karates and his old blood brother Jamuka.
Right. He's not just a struggling leader anymore. He's becoming someone others rally around. They see his determination, his loyalty. Rescuing Borte was a huge demonstration of leadership.
And as his power grows, so does the tension with Jamuka.
His childhood friend, his blood brother. That's tough.
Yeah, but Jamuka represents the old ways, the traditional aristocratic system. Power inherited, status fixed by birth.
Well, Temujin has this radical idea brewing.
Totally radical.
Yeah.
He wanted to open the highest military ranks, the most prestigious spots, to warriors from humble backgrounds.
Based purely on merit, on valor in battle.
Exactly. And that was just unacceptable to Jamuka and the Mongol aristocracy, a direct threat to their privilege.
This is where he becomes truly revolutionary, not just a conqueror, challenging the bedrock of Mongol society, inherited status.
Meritocracy, competence over lineage. It's a complete paradigm shift.
Empowering the lowborn, giving everyone a shot based on what they could do. Unheard of in most 12th century societies.
The split becomes total war. And then this horrific act by Jamuka's forces.
Designed to break his spirit.
Must have been. They ambush a small group of Temujin's men unprepared. They torture them, boil the survivors alive.
Barbaric. A chilling message.
But it backfired. It triggered this even stronger response in Temujin. He makes this famous vow.
The oath to his warriors.
I swear I will never again be defeated in battle, and none of my warriors will ever again be dishonored. A sacred promise, binding them to him.
That wasn't just revenge talk. It was a commitment to a new way. Protection, value, honor for his soldiers. That built fierce loyalty, set him apart from traditional leaders.
So the lesson here seems to be about uniting the divided and the incredible power of radical meritocracy.
Absolutely. He didn't just conquer, he unified these warring tribes, offered hope, upward mobility to those previously seen as inferior, judged by deeds, not birth.
A chance to earn their place.
And this links to his wolf philosophy, right? Not just saying they descended from wolves, but reframing how they fought.
Like a wolf pack. Organized, coordinated.
Disciplined group combat, strict hierarchy, everyone has a role, collective success over individual bravado, the era of chaotic skirmishes, over.
Under Temujin, they become this lethal, synchronized military machine.
A true force multiplier.
And the modern application for organizations today.
It's about breaking down those silos, isn't it? Fostering real unity across different teams or departments.
And empowering the most competent people, no matter their background or how long they've been there.
Exactly. Understanding that diverse talent, unified by clear values and a common goal, beats rigid hierarchy every time. Imagine a company where the best ideas, the best leaders can come from anywhere. That's the agility he was building.
Okay, so by 1204, he's ready. The final showdown with Jamuka.
More than just armies clashing. It's old tradition versus this new pan-Mongol meritocratic vision.
A fratricidal conflict, really. Brothers, fathers on opposing sides, torn between the old ways and this new promise.
It's incredibly tense. Temujin knew the weight of this. His forces were disciplined, unified, but still relatively modest in number compared to what they'd become.
Before the battle, he gives that famous speech.
The bundle of arrows.
Yeah. A tribe alone is like a single arrow, easy to break. Many tribes together are like a bundle of arrows, impossible to break. A powerful call for unity.
Then Jamuka attacks. Traditional tactics, a furious charge.
Temujin's men, calm, precise. They unleash this devastating rain of arrows, then a cavalry charge. But then comes the brilliance.
A feigned retreat.
Exactly. A small group pretends to run, draws Jamuka's forces in, overconfident, chasing them right into a trap.
This became a Mongol hallmark, didn't it? Unconventional, but so effective. Retreat was dishonorable in medieval warfare.
But for Genghis Khan, only the result mattered.
His disciplined forces lead Jamuka's men into this perfectly planned ambush. Broken ground, chaos for the larger army, annihilation, masterclass in psychology and tactics.
Jamuka escapes, but he's captured later by two of his own generals, hoping for a reward from Temujin.
And Temujin's response is fascinating.
First, he executes the traitors, calls them ignoble opportunists, sends a clear message about loyalty. Betray your own leader, you die.
Even if the betrayal benefits him, shows a strong code.
Then he turns to Jamuka, offers to unite their forces, put the past behind them, forge a single Mongol nation.
Remarkable, punishes disloyalty, then offers reconciliation to his biggest rival. Complex leadership.
But Jamuka refuses, right? Still clinging to his aristocratic pride. Only room for one leader. He asks for a noble, bloodless death.
And Temujin grants it.
A broken spine. Prevents spilling royal blood. Respects their past bond, maybe, but decisively removes the rival who couldn't fit into the new order. Ruthless, yet a certain code.
It is complex, uncompromising, but within certain bounds, he said.
The next few years, just rapid-fire victories, solidifies his dominance over all Mongol chiefs. His vision, his meritocracy, his tactics, they won.
The proof was on the battlefield.
So, 1206, the Kurultai, the great council of tribal leaders, the ones who doubted him. Now they unanimously elect him Kagan, chief of chiefs.
And Temujin becomes
Genghis Khan, lord of all men. His entrance onto the world stage.
It's more than a name change. It's the formal birth of the empire, the recognition of this unified vision, this radical new order.
And his military doctrine, as you said, revolutionary. For the medieval world, retreat was dishonor. For him,
tactic, calculated, deliberate, strategic retreats, ambushes, disguises, psychological warfare. All unconventional, all devastatingly effective.
his genius was that detachment from tradition, wasn't it? That flexibility. While others died honorably, he'd feign retreat, lure enemies, preserve his forces, and win.
Pragmatism over dogma, and the two-man system,
Right.
organizing the army in units of 10, 100,000, and 1,000.
Not just counting heads.
No, it created this incredibly efficient, adaptable structure. Instant communication, rapid deployment, easy scaling across huge distances. Imagine managing a global company like that today.
And he wasn't directing from the back, was he?
No way. Led from the front. That famous quote.
I am always in the front line. In battle, you will never see me in the rear. Acted as if no one was behind me. Incredible courage.
Sharing the risks fostered immense loyalty. His lived experience inspired extraordinary feats. Combine that with cavalry mobility, resilience, archery skills, almost unstoppable.
And they adapted, used Chinese engineers for sieges when needed, learned constantly.
Continuous cycle. Learn, adapt, innovate.
So the lesson here is clearly adaptability, innovation, strategic flexibility.
Right. His success came from breaking free of tradition, embracing what worked. The final result was everything. Not sufficient that I succeed, all others must fail. That was his mindset.
Chilling, but effective. And for us today.
It means moving faster, changing direction better than rivals, not being stuck in how we've always done it, thinking outside the box, problem solving, leadership, embracing new tools, reassessing based on real outcomes, relentless focus on effectiveness.
But he wasn't just about conquest, which is maybe the surprising part. He was an architect of a state.
A visionary administrator, yeah. Once power was consolidated, he shifted focus. Social, economic reorganization.
Established that hierarchy. Imperial house at the top, divine origin, local khans, swearing loyalty. Unified political structure.
But also, crucially, economic infrastructure, often overlooked.
The unified currency.
Yes, getting rid of chaotic local barter systems across that vast empire. Imagine trying to trade across thousands of miles with different systems.
So the currency wasn't just about trade, it built cohesion, a shared economic identity.
Exactly. It tied disparate regions together, facilitated flow of goods, ideas, bought stability. And then the Yam system.
The Mongol Pony Express, but way better.
Huh? Pretty much permanent outposts, horses, riders every 40 kilometers, messages traveling 200 kilometers a day in 1206.
The internet of its time, genuinely. Think of the advantage: governance, military coordination, intelligence.
Fundamentally changed the speed of everything, allowed him to rule that sprawling empire, and his court was itinerant, always moving, nomadic mindset, even in empire building.
He didn't invent it all, did he?
No, but he knew how to use what others had. Chinese engineers for sieges, Persian and Arab doctors for his armies. Espionage networks. He adapted the best ideas.
Incredible for an illiterate man to value specialized knowledge like that. Pragmatic brilliance, seeing value, not just enemies.
And then the law code, the Yasa,
Clear, severe, but applied to everyone, even him.
designed to stop theft, kidnapping, ensure discipline, but also regulate daily life, stop intertribal fighting. Without clear laws, even the strongest power dissolves. It brought order, predictability, shared justice, groundwork for the Pax Mongolica.
And that surprising inclusivity, religious tolerance.
Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, shamans, coexisting. He never imposed one religion. Rewarded loyalty, regardless of faith.
Revolutionary for the time.
Pragmatic statesmanship, more than modern liberalism, probably. He knew diversity could be a strength if built around loyalty to him and the Yasa, imposing one faith. Constant rebellion.
So this practical tolerance helped ensure stability. The Pax Mongolica, that period of peace, trade, cultural exchange from Europe to Asia.
It really did shape global development.
So the section's lesson: long-term vision, clear governance, leveraging diverse strengths. He wasn't just a raider, he built enduring structures.
Absolutely. Vision beyond the battlefield, for us. Creating lasting value, clear rules, embracing inclusivity. A leader's vision needs that long view for real legacy. Law, commerce, purpose, just as critical as might.
Okay, now we get to the really complex part, the double-edged sword of his legacy: genius and terror.
The narrative climax, you could say.
Let's start with loyalty, but also fear. That story about Jebi, the archer.
Fantastic story. Tells you so much.
Genghis Khan wounded by Jebi's arrow. After the battle, Jebi confesses instead of execution.
He offers him a place in the army, recognizes his courage, his skill.
And quotes Jebi's supposed words. "If you kill me, only stain earth. Take me, you get an archer who will conquer land as far as his arrow flies." And Jebi becomes this legendary general.
It shows that ability to spot talent, harness it, turn enemies into devoted followers. That intense loyalty was key.
But the flip side, fear as a weapon, chillingly effective.
The massacres, Nishapur beheading corpses, Herat destroying 2,000 mosques. It wasn't random cruelty.
No, it was strategic terror. Calculated, spreading that reputation.
So cities would surrender without a fight, saving Mongol time, resources, lives. Reputation as powerful a weapon as any physical arm.
We have to face this brutality, though. Strategic or not, the destruction was immense.
Absolutely. We analyze the strategy, but never forget the suffering. It's inseparable from his empire.
His advance seemed unstoppable, pushed boundaries further than anyone imagined. Against fortified Chinese cities, they adapted, became siege masters.
Learn from captured engineers. Beijing, 1215. Months of siege, cannibalism, brutal fighting. Technology meets raw courage.
Then Persia. The murdered ambassador on the Silk Road, his furious response.
Marches 200,000 men over 3,000 kilometers. Deserts, mountains. To Otrar.
And uses human shields. Prisoners dressed as Mongols. Blurring lines, demoralizing defenders. Chilling.
The scale, the speed, the adaptation, astonishing. But also the cost. Bukhara, Samarkand, vibrant cities erased. He was the wrath of God, as he claimed.
Yet there was that one defeat, wasn't there? Rare, but significant.
Parwan, near Kabul, Afghanistan. Against fierce mountain fighters. The only major defeat in his career.
Shows even the greatest machine, the best strategist, can be checked. Tenacity, terrain, limits exist.
A rare glimpse of the limits of his power.
But maybe the most mind-blowing part of his legacy, discovered recently, the genetic footprint.
Ah, yes, the Super Y chromosome. Studies by Tyler Smith, Brian Sykes.
Found that 0.5% of the world's male population, 0.5%, and 8% of Asian males descend from one man, from the 12th, 13th century.
And all evidence points to Genghis Khan, his huge number of offspring, the practice of taking noble women from conquered enemies.
Professor David Morgan noted the immeasurable quantity of children. His biological legacy is literally in millions alive today, a direct genetic link.
Eerie. It really is.
So the complex lesson here, we have to acknowledge the human cost. 30 to 40 million deaths attributed to his conquests. A huge chunk of the world's population then.
Mind-boggling numbers.
As he chillingly said, I represent the wrath of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me against you. That's the brutal reality. Immense power, ambition, a terrifying double-edged sword.
Genius and destruction. We analyze the brilliance, the innovation, the strategy, but never forget the suffering, the death. His story forces us to grapple with that duality, leadership and cruelty, side by side.
He died in 1227, campaigning against the Chinese. His last words to his sons.
I conquered a great empire for you. Life too short to subjugate the whole world. I leave this task to you. Boundless ambition even then.
And his burial. Shrouded in secrecy. Death squads killing anyone they met, even the grave diggers. The location still unknown, fiercely protected.
Even in death, absolute control. The mystery itself was part of his legacy, testament to the power, the respect, maybe the fear he commanded.
What a journey. Unsettling, incredible. Let's try to recap the core lessons from this illiterate nomad who reshaped the world.
Okay. First, that incredible resilience from adversity, rising again.
Second, unifying diverse groups through radical meritocracy, competence over birthright.
Third, the genius of adaptability and innovative strategy, breaking traditions for results.
Fourth, the long-term vision and clear governance, the YASA, infrastructure, even that pragmatic tolerance. Building stable structures.
And finally, the complex power of loyalty and reputation as leadership tools.
It's an astonishing case study, isn't it? Leadership, strategy, how to build an empire from nothing.
But brutal, merciless methods, unimaginable human costs, we have to keep saying that. Critically evaluate it.
Absolutely, it's not an ethical blueprint. It's a raw look at power, how it's gained, used as consequences. Horrific sometimes.
And it forces us to reflect, doesn't it? How do we apply the positive strategic lessons, adaptability, meritocracy, vision in our lives, our work, without the brutality?
How do we learn from the effective, but reject the reprehensible? That's the challenge.
A huge challenge.
Genghis Khan. Illiterate nomad. Largest empire ever. Left behind destruction. And a blueprint for organizational genius. As you look at the world today, business, society, your own challenges, where do you see echoes of his methods? For better or for worse?
It makes you think.
And what does it really mean to build something that outlives you, something that even leaves a trace in human DNA itself? We hope you'll keep exploring these complex figures, their enduring, often uncomfortable impact on how we understand leadership, power, and ourselves.